Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 19 of season 3 of Fortnightly Frontier. I am your host, Darjanator. Over there is my beautiful assistant or co-host, Myre, of Test Squadron and Twitch. And this is a podcast about Star Citizen, of all things. Hello.
What's up? Hello.
Hello. Okay, what you up to?
What am I up to? Not much. Haven't been up to much this week, to be honest. Did a lot of behind the scenes preparation for CitizenCon and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah. This is the CitizenCon stream where we're going to be talking about CitizenCon as well as Star Citizen stuff as well.
Yeah. But the main story is that in 4 days we both have transcontinental flights.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some serious flying to do.
Better get your wings in good shape.
Sure.
But other than that, what has been going on in the past 2 weeks in the world of Star Citizen development?
All right. Well, I mean, 2 weeks ago we had the Board Gamer on, so we didn't really talk too much about what was happening with Star Citizen and around the verse. Yep. So we have a little bit of stuff to catch up on and stuff like that. We did cover a bit of it on when Board Gamer was here. We were talking about what was it? The visualization stabilization, the visual stabilization sneak peek.
That's the one.
Yes, not the visualization stabilization. That doesn't make too much sense. But there was a sneak peek with that, and they did go ahead and they started talking about how exactly that was working. Most of that I didn't understand, but what I did understand was that it had something to do with how chickens work, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. So, how a chicken is, it doesn't have, its eyes don't move and, where to kind of balance its image. Rather, when you move the chicken, its head stays in one place and its neck does all this crazy work. So they're using like a very, very kind of like minute version of that in Star Citizen to make your your visuals as stable as possible. Because people complain a lot, when you move about, that everything is so janky and moves about. So by basically making your guy have a chicken neck, you fix almost all your problems. And I think that's just freaking amazing.
It's the sassiest of the birds.
The sassiest of the birds, indeed. Yes.
Right. Thing is also, I was going to say something about that. It's like, most games, and Chris Roberts goes on about this all the time, ad nauseum, is, they have just a single camera and then, that goes around. It's not tied to a character model with proper animation, stuff like that. So in its default state, it's basically very stable. There's no head bob and anything like that. And then Star Citizen went into this whole first-person and third-person animation.
Yeah, the unified
correlation, the connection, and then that made everybody puke because the camera was basically just doing all this all the time.
Yeah.
And now they're implementing stabilization so that it is that when you move around, your camera is completely stable, and then we're just back at where we started.
Yeah. We're not truly back where it started because by unifying both animations, what you do is that you have, a more immersive, high fidelity kind of experience all around. I mean, my earliest kind of like comparison would be like when I played GoldenEye on the N64, and as a character, you're moving around. It's very smooth. You're basically a walking fridge. You can almost hear the fridge like scraping against the floor, going. But like when you're fighting other people and NPCs, they roll, they barrel roll, they do all these kind of like interesting movements, and you're like, can I do that? But of course, when you try and work on a bomb and stuff like that. In first person, your guy is doing these intricate movements, but in third person, the guy is just pointing at the object with a gun. In Star Citizen, because these animations are unified, anything you see and you do, you'll be able to see somebody else do.
Yes,
and I think that even though it's going to look really smooth, because it should look smooth because it is a game, it'll make it just that much more believable and that much more kind of like immersive.
Yeah. Also, but I do hope that they do implement what we're talking about, that little slider where you can set whether you want head bob or you don't want head bob, or maybe somewhere in between, of a degree of head bob, just for a bit of, some sort of simulation.
Yeah, different strokes for different folks.
But yeah, like you said, tying everything in is basically just, like they said, cutting the animation from over 1,000 number of animations because you have different ones for first person and third person, and then some else for multiplayer, I believe.
Yeah.
And then just having everything play out at once
Yeah.
is just so much easier for development. Yeah, I do agree with that. But just how far you're willing to take it in fidelity. When you're entering a passcode, will you be able to see in third person another character go from different points on a pad,
I
pushing
believe
different
so,
buttons?
but if it's an analog thing like pushing buttons on a pad, then I think that you should be able to see it as it happens from a third-person perspective. But I think for the most part, most things are going to be these LED screens. I think earlier on in development, you could actually see another player's screen, but as we got more people into a server, it kind of became less feasible. Maybe they'll bring it back once the netcode is more stable, because it would be really cool, like in the...
Are you talking about the Mobiglass?
The Mobiglass and your ship HUDs and everything.
Ah, I see, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be really awesome to like spy on somebody who's using the Mobiglass with like a sniper scope from a hill on planet side.
Yeah.
It would add such an element of immersion to like being a bounty hunter, kind of like eavesdropping on somebody. I mean, like, let's say
like Jubal Early.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Like Jubal Early from Firefly.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool if, for spying on people, that if you are trying to follow them through a locked door, you should be able to glean their passcode by what they type in, so you don't have to hack it. It's just one of the things.
Yeah.
Or if they're if they're running away in a ship, and you don't know which direction they went into.
Yeah.
If you were zoomed in on their HUD, you'd be able to tell, because they'd be going through all the options in selecting destination and going off.
Yeah.
So it's more of a Watson approach to things, as opposed to Sherlock, who wants to just take everything apart and look at it from a microscopic perspective and ignoring the big picture.
Yeah.
Just because the answer is quite obvious. So
I think the topic really kind of ties in as well with something that they just kind of spoke about a couple days ago, which was the whole scanning system. And I think that will actually tie in a lot with the whole kind of like a bounty hunter kind of gameplay thing. Like, it doesn't really of course it's not all it kind of kind of encompasses at the moment, and I think in its earliest kind of iteration, it's more going to be kind of for ship components and scanning. But I mean, what have you gleaned from that, this the whole scanning thing?
This whole scanning thing, I like the way it's going. I like that there's more to it than just getting into range. With your ship and knowing everything about it. So you have to keep your scanning focus on somebody, and the more you do, the more information starts popping in. I mean, although this still is just the first step towards it. It's definitely not the final game.
Yeah,
I mean, mechanic.
How it works right now is that it's a passive scan, and all you get to see are the ships and how far away they are. You don't have anything else in terms of detail of what the ship is. It's almost impossible to tell if the 300 series that you're looking at is a 25A, 15P, 100I, 50R, unless you get so close that you can see the color of the ship, or you just can tell by how fast it's moving. That whole passive scan thing, where you're staring at a ship and the bar increases and you see more and more information, I think that's a really cool thing. And hopefully as the game progresses, you will have ways of kind of battling that, and increasing the scan duration it would take for a ship to find out what's in your hull and that kind of thing. Or
maybe just have have it be more difficult for the scanning ship to lock on with the sensors. But because I wouldn't say this is a passive sensor. This is actually an active sensor, because you have to be active. You have to position your ship or your antennas in a specific direction and initiate it. Passive is what we have right now. You get in range and all the information is delivered to you. So
How do you reckon it'll work, going forward? Once we have this whole scanning mechanic and you're in Arena Commander, right now you have, like the full, global ship positioning for every single ship in the arena, as long as, they're within whatever range it is. I think it's just infinite at the moment.
15 kilometers.
Yeah.
I think it's, the way system is implemented is no matter where you are on a map in Arena Commander, you'll still see all the ships.
Right. So, so going forward, though, do you think you're still going to be able to see every single ship, or do you think you're going to have to use that long-range, ping probe first, or what?
That's a good question.
Because with the ping probe, they, I know many people, they're like, oh my god, what is this, golf simulator? Like Mario Golf? This is in space? But, I mean, it's right there above us right now. But I mean, that's just the earliest iteration of it. Like, how they describe that's going to work is that, you press it, you charge the scan, and if it gets into the sweet spot, then you can find out more about what, like the opponent, or like, I guess it's like a long range probe to see something. But if you miss that sweet spot, then you actually increase your own signal. You do the exact opposite of what you want.
Yeah.
So
that's it. Yeah. If you get it in the sweet spot, you'll be able to increase the range without increasing your own emissions.
Right.
But if you miss it, if you go before, the range will just be shorter.
Yeah.
But if you overpower it, that means that you're gonna completely fry your scanning suite for a while. You won't get any information back. And your scanners will be out for several minutes. So yeah. But this is, like they said, it's a first integration of the system, but it'll be more difficult. It'll be more nuanced, and there will be several tiers.
Okay.
So if you're in a single-seater ship, it won't be nearly as complex as if you're in a multi-seater ship and you are actually a dedicated scanner, like for the Constellation Aquila. That has, instead of a top turret, it has like a huge sensor array, and you have one seat on the ship dedicated to basically just for scanning. So that will have a much more intricate and nuanced way of doing it. Maybe just different quadrants, like in front of the ship, back of the ship, stuff like that, and range, and what sort of thing you're scanning for. Because there will be different scanners. There will be mining scanners. There will be medical scanners, specifically designed to look for life forms, and stuff like that. So it won't be just here's your golf swing.
Yeah, fair enough. I can see that working kind of interestingly though, in like even in an Arena Commander. I mean, like let's say you're not using the long range scan, which will tell you exactly what's going on in front of you for how far. But like in Arena Commander, let's say they get rid of the whole passive scan. You have to kind of like make use of that long range scan first, and then if you mess up, then everybody else in the arena can see exactly where you are. I can see that making it a bit more nuanced in like like a more stealthy ship can actually hide, because now
I think that they would be implementing it in a new game mode, something like Seek and Destroy.
Okay.
But what we have right now for pure dogfighting, I think they will keep the whole passive thing, as it'll be as if game starts after everybody completes a successful active ping.
Yeah.
And then everybody knows where everybody else is, and we just continue with good old fashioned pew pew.
Right. Okay. I mean, speaking of you mentioned the new Vanguard, the Hoplite, yeah? So
Not yet.
Yeah, you didn't you? You mentioned it.
I talked about the Aquila.
Oh yes, you mentioned the Aquila. So that's one of the new ships that are coming out. Yes.
The Vanguard Hoplite is the second one.
Yeah. So
nice segue.
Nice segue indeed. So what exactly is this ship though? I mean, the Aquila. I mean, like compared to the Andromeda that we have right now, it's like the exploration ship. Yes. It's got like that panoramic view.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
So what else does it have that makes it different from the other one?
It has, like I said, instead of the top turret, it has an antenna array.
Yeah.
And it comes with an Ursa rover in the cargo bay, and it's green.
Right.
Yay! I don't know whether or not it'll have a Mustang in the back.
Right.
Wait, did I say Mustang? Merlin.
I was going to say Mustang in the back.
Mustang.
Okay, right.
Well, the P-52 Mustang is a very famous American dogfighting ship from World War II.
Yeah.
And there's obvious connections between the two, but I don't think they were allowed to call it a Mustang, so they named it the Merlin. But yes, I don't know whether the Aquila will come with the Merlin. I don't remember, and I really, really hope that once it's in the game, the people who own a Carrack, such as me, will get the Aquila as the loaner ship, because it is the same class of ship. It's an explorer ship.
Yeah.
So yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I need to pester Ben about that one.
So what else did they mention? Oh, the
Hoplite. We keep forgetting about the Hoplite. Yeah.
Yes.
It's troop.
Poor Hoplite.
Yeah. Poor Hoplite. Troop transport. It's. I think it's not going to be an official variant.
Okay.
Because the back is different, and speaking of the guy who designed it or who worked on it isn't he one of the four horsemen?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they hired him, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they did. Yeah. Anyway, he was working on it, and he said that normal Vanguard variants have different modules at the bottom. Yeah, they go between the cockpit and the back ramp. Those can be replaced. Yeah. But this one doesn't have that, and the back end has a much wider ramp. It's in fact it's so wide you can drive a Greycat up it, which was really cool.
I think another thing that the Hoplite has that's different from the other ship is that with the what is it called, the Warden, it has those 4 guns on the front which you can actually like pull out and put back in. But with the Hoplite, those gun ports are actually sealed. Like
it's weird, yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost a completely different ship, but this is the same aesthetic, the same look, the same manufacturer. So that's kind of cool. So what else? The new UI for the entire Star Citizen, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yes, so good. Finally getting somewhere decent looking.
It looks beautiful, yeah. I mean, the only thing that could make it look different was if it was dynamic with subsumption AI actually moving about and stuff like that.
Are you referring to a certain post on Reddit that somebody made like a mock-up of this thing?
No, I'm not. I was thinking more about my stream, my starting now scene. I was thinking about that. Like it just having.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because he based it on Half-Life 2, and its menus is basically what it is a scene from the level where you ended the game last.
Right.
And then there's just like a cinematic scene, maybe just like a road, and then a house and the sea and stuff like that. It basically just to remind you where you logged off last, and then there's a menu over it.
That way, I think. Borderlands did that. I think DayZ even does that. But
really,
it's an interesting. It'll work here as well. It
would really work.
It would work really well. Yeah. I mean, you could even one up and actually make it so that it's the server. I mean, like with this thing there, you could see ArcCorp. If you had like the players doing their thing around there, actually connected to the server, so you connect to the server easier and faster because you're already connected.
Right. Yeah, but just how long is it gonna take to load up the menu before you even get into the game?
That is true. Fair enough. All right, Killjoy.
Unless, of course, the switch between when you're when you get into the menu and then go into universe would be instantaneous. Yeah. Instead of having to wait again.
Yeah.
For as long as you have to wait to get into the PU right now.
So just above right now, what's it called again? The holo table? That's back. Look at it. And it looks amazing. Look at it.
Yes. I can't. It's gone.
It just disappeared. No, we have to wait. So they mentioned like you can actually customize your Star Marine character from the menu, I think. What else? As it comes up now, we can, go ahead and pick things out. Like, the new Arena Commander screen looks delicious? What kind of word is that? It looks amazing. It looks freaking awesome.
Yes,
man.
and yeah. And then you have the leaderboards.
The leaderboards within the game. Yet another system from the website being incorporated into the game. You can see here the Star Marine loadouts as well.
Yep.
I think there was.
Once that's finally implemented, it's going to be an actual 3D model of your player character is going to be rotating.
Yeah.
As well as the ship. So because what you're looking at right now is just Photoshop mockups.
Yeah.
But it'd be very cool to see how little time it takes for the engineers to implement that in game.
Yeah.
Because I think Zane and everybody else on his team has done a fantastic job.
Completely phenomenal job. And I can't wait to see the work that they've done on the ships, because as you guys know, the UI that you see on all the ships, that's just kind of like a placeholder UI. All the ships pretty much share the exact same interface, with the exception of maybe the Hornet F7C, not the Hornet now, that's not a model of ship, the Hornet F7C and the P-52,
Merlin.
The Merlin, exactly. Yeah. Yes, those two ships have their own kind of bespoke UI. I think to a lesser extent, even the Aurora MR has its own, like panels in front as well.
Yeah.
All the other ships just have this like one basic kind of like it's the same everywhere. As the game progresses, of course, every single ship will have its own bespoke looking UI, and it's all gonna look, tight, as a certain Tuco once said.
And apart from the UI, what else has Zane and his team been working on?
Well, I guess more UI, but this time the Mobiglass, I guess.
The Mobiglass one, yes. Oh,
yeah,
so good.
Yeah. So as you can see up there in the image, they've completely reworked the Mobiglass. It now looks like the LED itself wraps around the actual wrist of your arm. So I'm guessing it's going to be a lot more mouse clicky intensive. I guess you have to click and drag. But you can see there, the actual applications now. You've seen a few applications with the old Mobiglass, where, like there was the Cryastro stuff, but now you can see there are a whole lot more things. The star map looks like it's almost ready to be implemented into the game as well. He mentioned that was there, as well as cargo and social and stuff like that, and like the dynamic buttons, and it's looking amazing. They also mentioned you can also change the color, so I expect to see mine glowing red. And yours hot pink, I think you said.
Yes, mine will be hot pink, and as soon And that's how you'll be able to find out whether a person you're talking to me is actually me or an imposter.
Exactly.
Because their Mobiglass will not be hot pink.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. But can you imagine this with VR? As in with an Oculus Rift? Just look, I'll just be staring at my wrist all day, man. Like people will be walking into my room. I'll be just like, "What are you doing, Myre?" I'm like, "It's none of your business, man. I'm on my Mobiglass right now."
or with the HTC Vive, you have those two controllers.
Yeah.
And you could have a detection that as soon as you go like this with a controller,
yes,
it automatically brings up the and then you just
gestures.
Yes.
Yeah. I can see it now. Somebody send me a Vive.
You don't have the room for one.
That's beside the point, man. I'll be one of those chair Vive people. I don't need to stand around and Vive. I'll just punch my screen a couple times and give up. But what else?
I want a Vive as well. Yeah, especially when this game is out. And
totally.
Speaking of Vive, I also would like to GTX 1080s in SLI, please.
Dear Santa, if you happen to watch our stream, then
yes.
Yeah. One last thing I think they mentioned, ship balancing. They mentioned this towards the end of Around the Verse. Yeah.
And there's also been some leaked and also confirmed specs about ship speeds.
So
I really don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
On the one hand, whenever I'm fighting in dogfighting or just kicking Vandal ass, especially in a Saber, I'm always on the afterburner because even 350 or 390, which is, the Saber's top speed, isn't enough. I want to go faster.
Well, I mean...
Not slower.
Is it not enough because everything else is fast? If the speed is relative...
because the distances that so easily, get, and then you're just stuck there for 2 minutes trying to get from one side of the map to the other.
That's because of how fast you are and your delta
while
V
other
and
people
all that.
are killing your Vandal and getting more points.
Okay, all right, okay. I mean, I understand. So, one of the steps that they're going to do, I mean, it's not just, like a virtual halving of the SCMs. They're changing around how acceleration works and stuff like that. In the leak stuff, you can see that, like certain ships are much, much slower in SCM, the larger ones, I think. But like, when they go into cruise, they can go super fast, but you can imagine the acceleration must be monstrous and stuff like that. Yeah, but man, it's definitely interesting. But one of the steps that they're taking, because it's not just speeds, of course, they're rebalancing everything, because once things get slower, that means that instead of like these long zoom and boom things, it's going to be more like close quarters knife fights, don't you reckon? So
and that is why I said that I don't know how I should feel about this, because both sides of the argument have very good merits to them. But I was hoping that at least once the overclocking mechanic is in, that you would be able to get your ships to go a lot faster than they are from the factory. Not just, like these days, with a car, you get a car with 160 horsepower, and then you take it to tuners, maybe you get 185 horsepower. No, I want it to go twice as fast.
Yeah.
With overclocking.
I mean, I'm just super intrigued to see where it's going to go, because it's not just, they're not just going to implement something, and if it doesn't work, then they'll keep it. This game is very, very big on the active development. They're very big on the
doing the back and forth between them and the community.
Exactly, and they value that information a lot. And I can I bet you that as soon as the patch comes through and more testers come in and there's more like feedback, they will be eager, and they'd be very keen to get all sides of the argument in and try and fix things. But one of the things that they did mention that they were going to be doing with this whole thing, so like rebalancing the shields and the speeds, something they actually showed us was a rebalancing of the missile system as well. Yes. So how is that working again?
All the missile racks will be uniform. Well, not uniform. They will be standardized. So right now you have the Aegis platform that you can only put on Aegis ships, and you have the Origin platform you can only put on 300i. But now they will be all standardized, and they will all fit on all hard points, on all missile hard points. And it'd be interesting to see how they actually manage to sort out the whole size issue so that they actually balance them out. So you for instance, that if you have like a plethora of small missiles, that they actually kind of balance out against having just one big ass stonking missile.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting system. I mean, I think it's a long time coming now, to be honest, because we've been kind of working with just the really early doors, kind of like not really sure where things are going, but basically it's just taken its time, and I'm glad that they're finally addressing it and balancing things, because certain ships and certain platforms were kind of overpowered because of just how they worked. It'd be nice now to be able to have more of a choice of what you can actually put on your ships.
Yeah, like for instance, if somebody fired a Rattler missile at you, you're dead.
Yeah.
It's game over.
Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah, I know. But otherwise, even the stupid-ass Vandal are able to evade normal missiles very easily. So, hope this rebalancing of the missile system has been a long time coming. And can't wait to see it happen. I need to become an avocado, so then we can't talk about it on the show.
Oh, yes, indeed. I need to get some NDA access to an in-game development game so that I can't talk about it in my podcast. Yes.
But it will satiate my curiosity.
Indeed.
So I at least will know.
But I think that's pretty much all the news, really.
All the news, yeah. So now we can talk about the exciting stuff, which is CitizenCon.
CitizenCon!
4 days until flight. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm kind of scared as well.
You're nervous.
Yeah.
Why? Why nervous?
Because, I don't know. I've never left the continent before.
Ah, fair enough.
Well,
You've driven all around the damn continent, though. But
I have driven all around the continent.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not counting the time I drove to England as leaving the continent because unlike you people, we consider the British Isles part of the continent.
What do you mean, you people?
Hashtag Brexit. I'll say no more.
Oh wow. Okay. I mean, I'm looking
Let's
forward
not
to
get
it.
political here. Yeah. Yeah. So much.
I mean, yeah, I'm looking forward to it so much. There's so many people, so many. I mean, not even just the the faces that I've come to be accustomed with, through the streams and YouTube and stuff, but just everybody else. I mean, I'm sure people, not just content creators are like this, but anybody who's in any kind of organization or group or guild or whatever you want to call them in Star Citizen, they're gonna be meeting up with these friends and stuff, and it kind of makes it more real. And with Star Citizen, more than any other game that I've ever kind of been invested in, in the past few years, I think it's never been this real, this personal.
Star Citizen is the first game. The first game. I've been drinking a lot. This is if for those who have been wondering what I've been drinking, this is a Roquefort Trappiste 10, and it is the strongest beer I've ever had at 11.3 alcohol by volume. So, yes, I should be taking it a bit slowly, but I'm not.
11.3. Isn't that like more like a wine than a beer?
It's a wine, yes. But anyway, I've been talking about before. I've been gaming all my life.
Right.
But if I engage in multiplayer, or just talk about games, it's always with people that I meet through other channels. But Star Citizen is the first game where I've actually met other people through the game. And then I'll be meeting them and talking with them and discussing them and, going to fucking USA.
Just to see everybody.
To see everybody,
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It
is.
It's a whole different experience. And I think a lot of it's because of just how mature the community is and just how, the demographic of Star Citizen, I guess, first of all, it's not really, it sells itself as what, a 21 plus game, isn't it? Because of it. There is no ESRB rating, is it? Because it's an individually published game, isn't it? Like
could be. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's.
Do you have to be an adult to own the game?
I think when you make your account, does it ask you how old you are?
I don't know. It's been years since I made my account.
I'm not sure anymore.
It's a good question. Maybe we should put it in brackets and put it in chat.
Yeah.
He's actually doing it. But yeah, because that also, on a complete tangent, brings me up to another thing. How are they going to handle adult content?
How are they?
And by adult content, I mean the American definition of adult content, because the European definition of adult content is also violence and gore, but there's also going to be a lot of that. I mean, sexual stuff.
Yeah. I don't know, actually, because that's interesting, because it's self-published. They don't have to kind of conform to many different things that other games cannot, like, ouch. Sorry. Like, some games, like, for a good reason you can't, like, kill child NPCs and stuff like that, and others you can't partake in certain substances and that kind of thing, but you can pretty much do anything in Star Citizen.
Yeah, but partaking in substances is gonna be, I think that's a long time coming for Star Citizen. There's gonna be space drugs, man.
Yeah, that's true. And as far as I know, also like a slave trade kind of thing as well. I mean, you can.
Something I forgot to, because that I noticed in the screenshots for the new UI. For I don't know if it's for Star Marine or what it was, but in the mock-up, when you're selecting your team, one is Marines and the other
one was slavers. Yes, I saw that too. I forgot to bring it up during when we had it up.
Yeah, well, just talk about it now. Yes. So apparently, slavery and slave trade is going to be
Confirmed.
part of Star Citizen. Yeah.
So yeah, you better bring your manacles, guys, because slavery is for sure confirmed. So, okay, new RP character, Space Django.
And your spacesuit is going to be blue. Very blue.
Very blue.
Very blue.
Okay. Someone just told me that apparently maybe Star Citizen will have to still deal with ESRB and PEGI. All right. I wasn't really sure how it worked, but it makes sense. It makes sense to me. They would have to.
Right. And where were we before? Yeah. So before we went on to AdultCon, it's just something I wanted to mention on a tangent because, for instance, in Mass Effect, you can go to a strip bar and there's for kind of censored nudity in the romantic scenes, and let's not even talk about The Witcher because that's just
straight up.
Yeah,
or even Metro as well had that too.
Never actually played Metro. I probably maybe should, but running out of time anyway. Adult stuff. I hope there's gonna be more, not just because I want to see space boobies, but because I want Star Citizen's theme to be dealt with on an adult level as well.
Right.
Not just space boobies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, CitizenCon. Let's just go back to CitizenCon. Why not?
Okay. Yeah, so what plans do you have for CitizenCon? I know that many people are doing a whole bunch of things. I know that Test Squadron are doing a couple things themselves. There's going to be a barbecue.
I'm definitely going to the barbecue.
Yeah.
And to the sort of after party that's after the main presentation, I suppose. And those are the only two events that I've confirmed that I really want to go to. But other than that, I'm up for everything. Also, since it will be near Hollywood, LA, no matter where in LA you are, to me, even though I kind of, from a theoretical point of view, I know it's fucking huge, but all of it is Hollywood to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to go to the Hollywood sign as close as possible as you can because it is closed off, and you got guards there that shoo you away, to put it mildly. But yeah, I want to go there and I want to see the entire city from a hilltop.
It'll be fun, man. I'll join you for that for sure, man.
That I suppose it will have to be a nighttime event.
But I can't wait to look. I can't wait to look. I look forward to. I can't wait to meet everybody. It'll be fun, for sure, man.
Well, we've met a lot of people at previous CitizenCon already.
Yeah.
It was so weird because we met, for instance, Admiral Nolan there.
Yes.
And I just remember thinking, wow, this guy just flew halfway across the world to come to one of these events. I mean, I drove for 2,000 kilometers or something like that. But that's fine. That's not that much. But he flew from the States. Is it Texas?
Yeah, from
wherever.
Texas,
From Texas. Yeah, but that's still halfway across the world. Yeah. And now this year we're doing it.
Yeah. That's because it's Star Citizen, man. It changes people. It changes people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I can see my wallet over there plotting to murder me. There are some Test Squadron events that I will not be partaking in. Just don't feel like it. And also, even though it's not really recommended, I just want to go around and walk around.
Yeah.
Just do something on my own. But, I'll be there for a week. I'm sure there will be plenty of time to do that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it's just going to be one, fast food and alcohol filled blur.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be freaking amazing. I'm going to take as many pictures as possible. We're going to take some videos and everything. I'm bringing
my DSLR and flashes and, for Fortnightly Frontier, I want to do a really, extensive video. I was going to say good video, but I'm not going to, sign in on that because I know it's not going to be good, but it'll be extensive.
Right. Yes. I mean, even for the podcast, what we could do is we could just have like a holiday slideshow kind of thing. Like, and here we were, and this is me playing with Sniffle Wizard's beard, and this is me on Disco Lander's lap.
Okay, and now I'm definitely gonna make it a point to get photos of you doing those two things.
Oh man, I can't wait. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, 6 days to go.
Yeah.
I probably didn't want to talk about this, but I have to be on the road at 1 a.m.
1 a.m?
Mm-hmm. My original flight is in Venice, and I have to be there by 8 a.m. And I am several hundred kilometers away from Venice. And then it's a 1 hour flight to Düsseldorf in Germany, and then a 13-hour flight all the way to LA. And that will be intense. I've never been cooped up in a chair for that long in a single sitting.
I was once on a plane for like 18 hours to Japan. And my knee got busted, man. For like 2 days, like it was swollen. Like
right,
I was in trouble. Yeah.
I'm flying with Air Berlin, and I've been checking up on their Germany. Well, at least their Europe to US flights, and they've actually upped their game by quite a lot. So hopefully there will be no injuries.
Yeah.
In my immediate future,
I've learned from my mistakes. Get up when you can on the plane. Do some yoga. But yeah.
I think for me it would be just like Michael in GTA 5 if I did yoga.
There wasn't fair enough. There was an old lady actually on the plane to Japan, and I was kind of like not mocking her, but going that's kind of interesting because she was like in her 60s in like a jumpsuit or whatever on the plane, and she got up during the middle of the plane to actually like do the splits on the gangway or whatever you want to call it. And I was like,
the splits.
Yeah, she was like doing a full-on yoga stuff, and I was like,
okay.
Then I was like, maybe I should have done something myself because my knee was just
exactly
dead. Yeah.
Well, even if you're a streamer or just gaming or working in an office, the recommended thing is to once an hour go out and have a walk just to get the circulation going. Just get some exercise.
Make sure you don't die. Yes.
Make sure you don't die. That I think that is a life hack we can all appreciate. Make sure you don't die.
Indeed.
But anyway, I do believe we're slated for next episode at CitizenCon.
We are.
The dates don't match up because we missed an episode and our schedule is skewed. But damn it, we're streaming from LA.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I mean. Okay, sure. We'll talk about logistics after this stream, but yeah, okay, that's the thing that's gonna be happening. So watch this space.
Yes, watch that face. Watch that face.
Space.
Space.
Yeah, watch this space.
But anyway, I think we're about to. We should be wrapping up for tonight. This was the pre-CitizenCon hype episode. My name has been and will forever be Darjanator, and over there was Myre of Test. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you in the verse.